Hello everyone. We have a lunar eclipse approach and in the sign of Libra, and Libra is the sign of relationships. Relationships with people, either business relationships or private relationships, romantic relationships. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of enjoyment of life, beauty, and the relationships with other people. So Aries is all about me, this personality, what I want, and going for it. Libra is about taking others into account, doing things for others, fulfilling our own desires in relationships with others, because it's only in relationships with others that we can fulfill our own desires. We cannot fulfill our own desires purely being by ourselves, because there are just not enough resources, because no one is God, having all opportunities, talents, gifts, possibilities all in one. So we're supposed to exchange our gifts, our possibilities, opportunities with other people. I have a spiritual talent, someone has a talent to have material strengths. If I exchange, I give them my spiritual knowledge, yoga class, and they help me to get some material strength, like renovating some part of my house. That's the exchange of gifts, of talents, and we both benefit, we both become richer because of that exchange. It's mutually helpful, mutually beneficial, and mutually useful. So that's Libra. About the nakshatra in which eclipse is going to happen, it's Vishakha nakshatra, which means forked. It's like two paths coming into one, or one path splitting into two, and like a forked path. And it's about perhaps two that seem incompatible paths come into one for mutual benefit, or one path splitting into two. It's when we're going on this path, but we're also, kind of want to also go to the other path. Some practical examples can be like someone is calling me and the conversation is lasting for 2 hours, and it's not really requiring all of my full attention, because the person may be also distracted, half talking with someone else. So I can do something else in the meantime. It's like divided attention. I can look on internet like for something I want to buy or purchase while I'm waiting for them, while they are talking to someone else, holding me on this line. So, I try to always give my full attention when I am busy with something, with the person in front of me. I don't like to have divided attention. I don't think it's a good value to have for me or for anyone. But there are situations when it can be appropriate, of course. There are different situations, and we can become more or less flexible depending on what's appropriate at this moment. So we don't have to create certain rules, which is barren in nakshatra in areas where we have planets now. We can also follow our moral rules and the rules of the wisdom of our heart, what's appropriate at this moment. Vishakha nakshatra. It can also be another example, is that you are doing two jobs at the same time. Like one job is online, and for that you go for other job in some other location. So you are like busy with two paths, two different work paths, but united in one, because it's you one person who is doing it. It's like some kind of splitting energy. What else can Vishakha nakshatra mean? Let me take a look as a practical example, which I wrote down. It can also be indeed like about the moral rules and following the rules of the society and having the moral rules. and they don't always coincide. Like most of the society rules are useful, but there are moments when they don't really work, and there are situations where those rules are just not correct, that it's just not fair, it's not honest, to follow the rules. For that, we can split our path into two and say, well, there are these rules and I'm aware of them, but I'm consciously choosing to not follow the rule because of my moral values. This is the right thing to do, and hopefully it's the right moral values. Like, let's say there are a lot of imperfections in the system, and the rules cannot possibly, include all situations that can happen. And sometimes we are faced with a situation where it's not appropriate to follow the rules blindly, like a robot, like a machine, and it's more appropriate to check in with our own moral values. What's the right thing to do here at this moment? Yeah, and I'm gonna share more examples soon.